All right, so welcome to day 3, and today we're going to talk about a human. So we talked about all the software that we could use to help us automate things, and sometimes you need a human. And one of the best ways to do that is to hire a virtual assistant. You will find once you've learned to delegate and you figure out what you can get off of your plate so that you're doing things that are only your superpower, the things that really, really energize you about your business, you free yourself up to so many other possibilities, and it is really, really difficult to let go because you're afraid that you aren't going to have it done to the level of perfection that you would have had it done. You're worried about, letting somebody else into your company. You're worried about, where can I find affordable help that's qualified, that is going to be a good employee for me? Who's going to care about my company as much as I do? All these things run through your head. And I can honestly tell you they were all barriers that I had until I took the plunge. And what I've done is, it's really easy to just say, oh, okay, go hire a VA. And everybody knows, go to online jobs and hire a VA. The problem is there's no system that helps you hire your VA. And it's not even so much just hiring them, it's setting up the system so that they're able to do the work exactly the way that you would have done it. So there are several processes that we set up to hire foolproof employees that are absolutely amazing and that you can get for a fraction of the cost as if you would have had to hire locally. Now, when I say that, you can get a virtual admin for about $2 to $3 an hour in the Philippines, and that's somebody who is just starting out and maybe doesn't have they wouldn't be able to have a conversation with somebody on the phone. If you need somebody who is going to get on the phone and be making phone calls to your clients, you're looking at $6 to $7 an hour. But if you're looking at somebody who's behind the scenes, who's just typing and doing things like that, you can hire somebody for about $2 to $3 an hour. Now, that sounds horrible. But let me explain why that's actually a really good thing for both you and the employee. So one of the things that I get a lot of times is, why would I want to send a job overseas? Well, for a couple of reasons. A, the work that they're going to be doing is typically unskilled work. And people in the United States want to do skilled work, and they're not willing to do the mundane, boring tasks for, $8 to $10 an hour. They want to be able to do the skilled work. So what we do is we enable you to hire somebody to do the unskilled work at a lower price point, and then you're able to hire skilled work in the United States or wherever you happen to be, Australia, Canada, London, England, obviously. And so you're able to put that skilled work back into your own economy. So we're only going to be really outsourcing unskilled work. Now, you can outsource skilled work, but it's a little bit more technical, a little bit more difficult. And we'll get into that. But at the very first, when you're just dipping your toes in, that's the very first thing. Now let's look at it from the employee standpoint. In the Philippines, our dollar goes so much further than their peso. And so paying somebody $3 an hour is equivalent to minimum wage in the Philippines. And so that would be equivalent to them going and getting a job at Burger King or McDonald's or manning a desk at a hotel. Now, here's why they are incredibly happy to do this. A, they get to work from home. B, they don't have a commute. Typically, somebody who is even working a 9 to 5 job as a unskilled laborer, they have an hour commute into the city and an hour commute home. So they have to pay for their bus fare. Most of them don't have jobs. Most of them don't have vehicles. And they've got to pack their lunch, and they're away from their kids for 12 hours a day, because it could be an hour to an hour and a half getting there. And so to work a minimum wage job, they're gone 12 to 14 hours a day. So they are incredibly, incredibly grateful and happy to be able to work at home for the equivalent of getting paid the exact same amount if they would commute in. So it is not a awful thing. You are not paying somebody less than what they're worth. And the awesome thing is, once you hire somebody and they have some training and experience, this is the part that I absolutely love. I train them, and as they get better and better, I increase their pay. So typically when I hire somebody, I'm going to hire them, at the base amount. And then 30 days from then, if they're a good employee, I'm going to give them a 10% raise. And then in another 6 months, I'm going to give them another 10% raise. And then after that, it's annually. And those are things that they're not going to be able to get in the Philippines if they're working, at Burger King or something like that. Also, you're able to provide them with other benefits that are hugely, hugely important for them that they wouldn't necessarily be able to get unless they were working for you. So I went through that whole kind of discourse here just to explain to you that hiring a VA is very, very simple if you have the right processes in place and if you know how to hire well. So you could just go to online jobs and put a application out there and go ahead and try and do it yourself. And I did that for years. It worked, but not as well as it could have. And so after years of perfecting this, I have gotten really, really good at creating a system to be able to duplicate the exact process that I want them to do, and to do it the exact way that I would have done without lowering quality and without having to pay crazy astronomical prices. The other thing too is you need to know how to hire well. There are several things that I have in place that weed out the employees that are not a good fit for your company. So I have created a program called Running on Autopilot. And what it is it's a course that goes through step by step and teaches you exactly how to set your systems up, how to set up a virtual office so you're able to monitor and know exactly when your employees are working, what they're working on, and also how to hire and hire well. In addition to that, we also have all kinds of safety things that we set in place to protect your business as well as protect the employee. And we're also going to teach you, once you have this system set in place, you never ever have to train somebody again. So as you expand and grow your team, you're able to bring new employees on, and the system is already set up and is already going to train them. You never have to train again for that task or that job description, which is incredible. So if that is something that you are interested in, there's going to be a link below this video to go ahead and get on the coming soon list. And so I will send you emails letting you know when it's coming out and some further details. If that's something that you're not interested in, you just want somebody to do it for you, there's a couple links below on places that you can hire virtual assistants, and they will do all the work for you. It is more expensive, but you don't have to learn that skill on your own. So you have two options for being able to get an actual human that is super good quality and do it. You can do it yourself, which is the course that I'm offering that'll be out very shortly, or you can actually hire an agency to go out and do that for you. Now, if you go the do-it-yourself route, you're learning a new skill, and so over the long run, it's going to save you a whole lot of money. But if it's something that you don't want to invest the time in and you just want to push it off to somebody else, then I would highly recommend that you go the agency route and have them do that for you. So below you will find the links for both. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to shoot me off an email. Again, it's Michelle@awesomeoutsourcing.com. That's Michelle@awesomeoutsourcing.com. And I'll be happy to chat with you about any questions that you may have. Thanks so much, and I will see you guys soon.